I'm going to get started in about 1 minute just to allow some more people to join. But while we're waiting, if you would like to put your location that you're joining from and the type of design that you work on, we're always curious about that, and pop it into our live chat box. That would be fantastic. And we'll get started in 1 minute. Wow. Oh my gosh, I love seeing where everybody's from. That's so fun. All over. Lots of Canadians. I'm in Toronto, fellow Canadian here. Okay, fabulous. We're going to jump in because we have a lot to get through today. We are doing a Master Your Studio Management Masterclass today. Super excited to chat with all of you. To kick things off, I'll do a brief introduction of myself. My name is Lexi. I am the Senior Account Manager here at Programa. I've been with the company about a year and a bit now. And in my previous life, I was an interior designer myself. So I ran my own small interior design business, as well as worked in other design studios, specializing in high-end residential new construction, as well as dabbled into a couple of hospitality projects. So that is my background. We did use Programa in the studio that I worked at previously. So I've been using the platform for about 3 years now. And you could say I know it like the back of my hand, that's for sure. As well as we have the rest of our North American account management team on the call today. They are helping me out in the live chat. So if you do have questions as I'm going along through the presentation, feel free to pop in your questions to Melissa and Claire in the live chat message there. So our agenda for today. To all of you who are new to Programa, welcome. I'm super excited to show you the platform. We have lots of new features, as well as this will be a great refresher session for those of you who are current users. So welcome. A bit of background on Programa itself. So we are an Australian founded company, started in 2020. So we've been around about 5 years now, and we've been international for the last year and a half. So we are already in 80 countries around the world with 8,000 plus designers and 5,500 studios in total. So we're growing at a rapid pace, which is really exciting for our team. It's been a pleasure to be a part of the team for the last year and a bit, and just seeing how much it has expanded and grown. And the US and North American market, as I said, is kind of our primary focus right now. So that's where we're putting all of our resources and energy, which is why we like to host these webinars, just to inform all of you on what's up and coming and to connect with our community on this side of the globe. For those of you who this is your first time interacting with us, the main premise behind Programa is that we are a robust specification software, and as well as unifying project management, client collaboration, and communications with all of the stakeholders within your project. Today, we are going to be focusing specifically on our specification tools, the stakeholder management tools, so all of our project portals, as well as project management. And we're going to do a bit of a sneak peek into our roadmap for 2025. So let me just share my screen here and we will dive into it. Alrighty, so what I'm showing you here is our main projects page. So this would be your home page on Programa. This is where all of your project will live. This is all customizable with your studio branding. You can have as many or as little projects as you wish. And then we have quite a robust tool set here on the left. So as I mentioned, we are going to be focusing more on our top 3 hero features, but essentially you can streamline the project all the way from concept design through to construction, procurement, and your financial aspects on the platform. Now, when getting started, if I dive into my project here, my workflow project, you can customize each project as well, dependent on whether it's residential, commercial, hospitality, set your currency, measurement system, and tax rates at a project level. So if you are working out of state or in different countries, you can always change that per project. It doesn't have to necessarily be at your studio level. Now, whether you're a solo designer or you do have quite a team, you can assign the project to all of your team members for easy collaboration purposes as well. So within each project, you'll have access to all of our Programa files. So that is pinboards, which is our mood board presentation tool, and then schedules is what we refer to as your specification sheets. So that would replace anything that you are currently doing manually, whether it's on Excel, Google Sheets, etc. This is going to transform that process and make it just clean and streamlined that way. So pinboards, like I said, really clean, aesthetic way of creating a presentation. This does integrate with Pinterest as well as your product library. So if you do start to specify into the library, you can start to build out presentations for your clients or just internally to collaborate and throw together all of your ideas. This is really simple to use. You can drag and drop the images around. We can resize from here and then share this with your clients, which then turns into a beautiful website for your presentations, just to look really clean and professional that way. Diving into my schedules next. As I mentioned, this would be your specification sheet portal. So this is, you can throw away those clunky Excel sheets. This is clean and templated for you. We have done a ton of research in terms of speaking with other interior designers, our internal team of designers, architects, large firms, small firms, just on ways of working. And this has been shown and proven to be kind of the cleanest way to formulate those spec sheets. And so within Programa, I always say your schedule is the heart of the platform. So once you have all of your product data in here, it easily connects to every other aspect of the platform as well. So these are templated to a sense, just to make it ease of use for you. You can kind of plug and play, input your data into here, as well as customize any custom specs as well. Very intuitive, whether you want to set it up by product type, like I have here. So it obviously depends on the project. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Sometimes you want to have one big master schedule, or you want to set this up by room. That is totally up to you. Like I said, it's all done within these subsections. So you have your summary view, which is going to be all of your specification data, like I'm showing you here. So measurements, finishes, images, etc. All of your vendors are here on the right-hand side, so you can start to build out your own dress book and send out quote requests and purchase orders right from the schedules. Then you have your financial tab, again, formulated for you, so you don't have to create those formulas in the back end of Excel. This will calculate your retail pricing versus your trade pricing in your discounts. And within a toggle of a button, you can add in your markup percentages, which will then calculate a client price for you and show you the difference in your profits. Now, sharing wise, so once we have gone through that specification process, so whether you're inputting items in manually which I don't recommend, which is what we're trying to get away from, is downloading our Programa web clipper. So this is going to be such a game changer for you. This goes onto your Google Chrome and it sits up in your toolbar. You can use this on any website. So it's all web friendly. So say, for example, this is a shower head that I wanted to add into my schedule. You have the 4 options here. So I can clip to schedule, I can clip into my product library, or I can clip into a pinboard. So we give you options there, and you can always do both. So if I do clip image, simply right click on the image. This guy moves back and forth for ease of use, and simply just highlight the information and click and assign where you want that to go. So no typing any of your specs. So say that's the brand and that input's for me here. So I just always go through, highlight. So within a couple clicks and a couple minutes, you have your spec lines written out. It's very detailed. You can input as much or as little information as you want. You can pull in any notes, as well as those pesky product download sheets. So it's kind of my favorite nerdy thing. You can click this plus button, hit the attachments, and it'll actually pull those PDFs for you. So you don't have to download them, save them, keep them in another folder, wraps it in a nice little bow for you there. And you would just clip it into your project of choice. So that's how I begin to set up all of my specification sheets here. So once I've gone through that process and I'm ready to present to my client, typically what I'll do is utilize these statuses. So we have quite a number of statuses here just to keep you on track with the project itself. So whether it's internally or when you're sharing all of these versions to your clients or to contractors, whoever needs to be across the project, statuses are the way to do this. In terms of sharing, if we hit the 3 dots here, you can export your spec sheets to PDF or Excel if you would like a hard copy of them. So it exports out beautifully, really clean. You can add your notes here. It has your logos, studio information, and all of your products nicely listed out. And you don't have to format all of your images. It will do that for you. You can also export individual product spec sheets. Again, this is the format itself is templated, but all of the information is inputted by you as the designer. So you can add lots of information, custom spec, and you can be as detailed as you want on here. So those are the hard exports. And typically I get asked, how do I export a project binder? That is also possible if you just head to the export to PDF button. And then you want this guy here, export with detailed product spec sheets. So that actually will send you literally everything that's in this schedule. So one big summary document, every single spec sheet, as well as all of those extra attachments that you might need for your contractors. Now, with that being said, the premise behind Programa is to get you away from exporting PDF documents, because we want it to be efficient. We want everybody to be across the most updated versions of your schedules. So with that said, you can easily share these schedules onto the web. So this is an individual live link that you can have in grid mode, which is presentation mode, or in summary view. So again, just a cleaner version of your back end of the schedule. It still has all of the same details and attachments. So you can download everything from here. It will say when everything was last updated. And I typically add in flags for respecification purposes. So that is the web version, which is super handy here, as you can download QR codes of every single schedule as well. So if you are working in construction and you want these to be on site, we all know how QR codes work these days. Print these off, put them on site. Everybody can scan it. Everything on Programa is mobile friendly, meaning that it'll transfer your data fine to your mobile phone and tablet. And again, having everything in one place, we love that. The other option is sharing to the client dashboard. Really easily, you just add in your client's email address. It sends them a link to their dashboard via email that all they have to do is click onto it. So they don't have to add a password, login, anything like that. We want to make it easy for you as a designer, but also easy for your clients as well. From here, you have control over what they're seeing. So you get to toggle on and off what you would like to share with the clients and also who gets approval on products. This then sends them to your dashboard. So this is our client-facing portal. Again, streamlining all of that communication process. You can customize this with your own cover image, your logos. It's sharing your schedules all in one place, your Pinboard presentations, shared files is any external documents that are outside of Programa. So if you have your technical drawing sets, contracts, anything like that, that's all shared here. And then down the bottom, we do have invoices so the client can see what they've paid and what still might be pending. So that all lives in one spot. Of course, it is called the client dashboard, but really, truly, you can share it with anybody who is across the project who might need this information. Now, my favorite piece of the dashboard is our approval process. So here you'll see these ones say feedback required on. The client can easily click into here. They'll again have summary view, their financial view, and the approval and feedback tab. So this is essentially acting as your proposal. So you're getting to choose what items you'd like to put forth to the client. They can say yes or no. It's going to give them the unit price of that product as well as the overall total cost. And they can approve and reject the items, leave you comments right from here. This all feeds back into your schedule so you can read it. It's all date stamped, time stamped with their name. So you can always refer back to that, 6 months time down the line, you have proof of what's been approved and what hasn't. So that is our project dashboard. Now from here, typically, once everything has been approved, this is all auto-updated for you as well. So you'll see these statuses now changed to approved and rejected. And then you'll get notified here under the approvals tab of what's been outstanding. So this is where you can read all of their comments. And then you have the history, the version history of all of the items that you've specified as well, which lives within the product. So again, really detailed. You can add as much or as little information here as you wish. If you are a studio that does procurement, and you can always add an extra procurement tab here. So you do have to hit the 3 dots. That's our magic button. If you need to rename, edit, duplicate, export, it's all within the 3 dots. So you do want to show procurement, and that will give you a new tab here, which is an organization tool to keep track of your important order dates, shipping, delivery, installation, and all of your deposits as well. Up in the 3 dots here too, we have our archive, which I love. It's just in terms of, so you're not deleting anything. So you always have that, again, version history. You can hide it away. If the client changes their mind, which often happens, we can pull this back in to your schedule in the future if need be. Okay, so that is our schedules. Now I'm going to touch on one of our newest features, which I'm really excited about because I'm a big Canva fan, but we now are integrated with Canva. So what that means is essentially giving you the opportunity to create more robust presentations, questionnaires, contracts, anything that might not necessarily be able to be conducted within our pinboards and Programa. Now allows you to create more robust presentations and then embed those into Programa. So again, everything is in one place. Now to do that, If you aren't super familiar with Canva, it is a separate account. It is free to create. And what you'll do is go on to the presentation or the document on Canva's website. So I'm on my Yorkville one here, and you'll hit this share button. And then we want the live embed link. So that's really important. It has to be the live embed and then the smart embed link. So just copy that to just remember live and smart. Copy. Then we're going to go back into Programa, into the project that you'd want to add that into. So the same way that you would add any other Programa files, you'll hit this plus button in the bottom right-hand corner and hit Canva share. And we're just going to paste that URL, give it a name. Oops. Add. Voila. That takes my Canva presentation, embeds it into here, which is really clean. This is read-only, by the way, so your clients can't edit anything. And then you would just share it the same way to your client dashboard that you would any of the other Programa files. So that is Canva. Now, the last bit that I'm going to go into today is project management. So this is about streamlining your internal team's processes. So we've touched on how to specify, how to communicate things with clients and contractors, and this is going to be managing your internal team and the project itself. So each project, as I'm still in my Yorkville one here, has a project management tab. First things first, I recommend doing, head up into the right-hand corner, it's a little file folder looking button. From here, you can choose whether the project is in the planning phase, it's an active project, it's done, etc. You can add your start and end date along the timeline view. You can see all of the team members that are assigned to this project and all of the tasks that need to be completed, as well as if you are using our time tracking features, it'll start to accumulate the amount of hours that you've added onto that specific project so far. Then you have phases. So this is super important to set up. We do have templates as well that I can share with you. You'll have them in your account regardless. And so we have set up some standardized phases and tasks that you can use, but you can always edit them and make them your own. So we can add phases, we can edit them, and then each phase also has a time frame attached to it. So I recommend set these up first because when you make your task cards, so these guys here are what I refer to as cards, and you assign those cards to a specific phase of the project. So to do that, you just hit add task. We've templated this aspect for you, so you're not completely starting from scratch. And then you can be, again, as detailed as you would like, or make it simple, up to you. So you have your overall product name. You can assign the task to a specific person on that project. It does send them notifications when they are assigned tasks. Then you can have subtasks within this task that need to be completed. You can comment back and forth to each other. So all of the communication piece is done from that specific task. So really organized. You're not having to email each other back and forth, all done from within the platform. You have your due date assigned to the phases that I just mentioned. And then you can also add a key date. So a key date is similar to a dependency or a milestone on a project. So I typically will put my site visits or when my presentations are as a key date that we can't forget, or that's kind of a milestone of the project. So that pops up on your timeline view, which will make more sense in a second when I show you. Here we have labels. So if you would like to customize anything, you can add as many tags or labels as you wish, which just adds more filters to the project management component. So you can get really detailed and into that nitty-gritty of things. Then the last bit here is attachments. So say we are working on elevations. I finished my elevations. Now I need my project manager to review it. I could upload the elevations or floor plans onto here and mark this for review. That is your board view. Then you have list view. Not much difference in terms of task management between board and list, just the actual view of it. I personally like a to-do list like this. I like to check things off, but some people are a little bit more visual. They like to view things this way. And the last bit is our timeline. This is really handy for seeing all of the project phases along a month, a quarter, or the entire year. So where all of your phases are sitting, and then those diamonds I mentioned, that is your key dates. So those pop up and you can always click on them to see where you're at in the project. Now, from project management, you have studio view. So studio view is essentially taking all of the projects and then filtering them into one place. So this is your bird's eye view of everything that's going on in the entire studio. So if you are managing multiple projects, this is the place to do it. You can, especially if you're a project manager too, who's kind of assigning everybody their work, definitely do it from the studio, and then you can filter it down by person, by project, by due date, and those labels. So again, get really detailed. Typically, I like to filter by my own name and then what's due this week in my to-do list. So this is my nice clean list, everything that I personally need to complete this week amongst multiple projects. So you can filter that down to get different views and just manage everybody's workload from here. And same with the timeline view. So this is going to show you where you're sitting. I love seeing it in the year view, just where the crossover is, so I can see the workload, what might be in construction at the same time, what's finishing, what's ending. Maybe I can squeeze in another project here. And you can always, I collapsed all these, but you can open them up and actually see the different phases and hover over the top here. It will show you the dates of each phase. And you can always edit them by drag and dropping that status. Now, the last bit of project management is our time tracking functions. So this is all done from the task cards. So there is a stopwatch feature on each card. I'm just going to pop back in here. This stopwatch here. So your team can either press play and have that running in the background while you're working. Sometimes, obviously, that's not realistic if you're task switching throughout the day and we might forget to turn it off. So you can always manually edit your time within the time tracker. Now this will show you a bird's eye view. Again, if you are the account manager or owner, and you'll be able to see everybody's time entries where each individual designer can only see their own. So you have all of your projects here. Again, filter it down by a specific date range, whether you're billing for this week or this month or 3 months of the project. You can kind of pick and choose and export a report to Excel. And this will give you a line-by-line breakdown, everybody's hours, and the accumulated amount of hours that you've spent so far. From here, you can always add a new time entry, which would be manually adding time. So you can add the hours. Just please note that you do have to have a task card set up first in order to assign the time somewhere. You can't just assign time and it be floating in space. You do have to have the card set up first in order to assign the time and add your notes here. Now these do link to our invoicing sections as well, which we're not going to dive too much into the financial aspect of things today because that is quite unique to every studio. So if you would like to book a call with myself or Melissa and Claire in the future to go over procurement, purchase orders, invoicing, we're more than happy to talk to each individual studio that way, or always pop into live chat and ask us questions about the invoicing aspects. We do integrate with Stripe for payment processing and QuickBooks for accounting purposes. So that is how our invoicing structure works. And the last bit here we are going to chat about the roadmap up and coming. But before I do that, I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to do a quick Q&A of everything that we touched on. And then we'll go over the up and coming for 2025. So Melissa, did you have some questions that the designers are asking? Maybe. Just read some questions here. Seems like lots of financial questions, which is great. We will share the templates with you after the call, as well as this call is being recorded, so you'll get a link to it afterwards. Seems like they've got everything under control there, so that's fantastic. Okay, so up and coming, we had quite a big year for 2024. It was really exciting to see the platform change and grow. We are super open to collecting feature requests. We definitely keep track of everything that all of the designers send through to us. We work very closely with our design community and essentially choose to update certain parts of the platform based on how often we are receiving requests of certain things. So last year, we had launched our QuickBooks integration, which was a massive one for diving into the US community, because that seems to be one of the main tools that a lot of designers use for accounting purposes. We also launched our project management component that I had just shown you. So that took us about 6 months of work to launch. That was a really big aspect and change for us, as well as integrating into Canva and lots of little kind of updates there. Now, in terms of roadmap, the highly anticipated invoicing tools. So we hear you. That is where all of our primary focus is going right now. We are wanting to streamline that process even further, whether that's building out our own invoicing infrastructure. And we are going to be automating the procurement and invoicing process. So that's going to be more interconnected with the schedules themselves. So you will be able to see what's been paid. That will automate into the schedules. And also with procurement purposes, you'll have basic budgeting tools as well as profit snapshots within your project dashboard. So you'll have more of when you click into your project, you'll get a snapshot of where you're actually sitting financial wise. So you won't just have the visibility of financials within your schedules. It'll be much more clear and front facing within each project. As well as bulk actions. So that's been a big request of being able to do more bulk changing from within the invoicing platform, as well as within the schedules, of just instead of having to manually change products line by line, you'll be able to do more items within bulk. The other big things coming for 2025 is the launch of our Smart Spec tool. So this is going to be part of our AI integration. So we do have members on our team who are specialized in AI, and we are integrating that into the platform in terms of specification tools. So this is going to be allowing you to not even necessarily have to use the web clipper all of the time. It'll refer you different products based on algorithms of what you're typically specifying, and be able to input all of that data within your schedules and without having to type anything. So again, making everything much more efficient and streamlined. And lastly, we are launching our trade portal in the US. So our team has been working endlessly the last month or so, or even the last year really, to launch this trade portal. It is live in our Australian market. So essentially what a big piece of work we are doing this year is giving you as North American designers access to the trade side of things. So within Programa, we're not just trying to streamline the design process from the designer side, we're actually trying to bridge that gap between brands and vendors and the designer. So trying to be the middleman, making it easier for brands to connect with all of you as designers and architects. And so this is a platform where brands can be on Programa and allows you to specify right from within the platform, meaning that you wouldn't even need to necessarily be on their vendor websites. Everything is right from within the platform. So it's beautifully done. Again, all within our aesthetic Programa branding. So this is in the works. It's built. It's just a matter of getting all of our North American vendors and brands up on the platform. So that is the, again, biggest piece of work for this year that we're really excited about. So lots to come. And if you do have any further questions post-webinar, please feel free to hop into our live chat function on our website, as well as you can email myself or the team is team@programa.design. And we do have another webinar coming up on March 21st, not 31st, and with Homeboys Interior. So we're doing a live made with Programa, which is one of our editorials. So I'm actually going to be sitting down with Austin from Homeboys, and we're going to be doing a more face-to-face chat, and they're going to be discussing how they use Programa in their day-to-day lives and how it's streamlined their workflow. So I'll leave you with that today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining and spending your afternoon with me. I hope to see you back here again on the 21st. Bye.